The following Basic Techniques article is brought to you by Scrapbooking.com magazine from the February 2013 issue. Minor Alterations, Part 2, by author and artist Judy Kaufman. For this installment of Basic Techniques, I thought it would be fun to continue with the idea of minor alterations that began last month. This time, instead of altering and decorating pre-printed cards, postcards, calendars, and purchased envelopes, the focus is on cutting up, deconstructing, and reconfiguring found items and artificial flowers. It began with a trip to a craft store. Outside the main entrance, there was a large bin filled with silk and paper flowers, marked down to 90% off. How could I resist? A hydrangea stem for only 49 cents, a series of enormous daisies at only 19 cents each, some strange, hairy, clover-like flowers, and an assortment of glittery leaves. That night I deconstructed everything, separating and sorting all of the elements. I tossed the main stems and bagged 5 dozen little blossoms from that single hydrangea. I pulled the spines off the leaves, took apart the layers in the clovers, and kept a few branch-like pieces. When I was done, it was so much fun to see this enormous pile of flowers and leaves in front of me. While doing this repetitive, non-challenging task, my brain was free to ramble and envision what would come next. I started to picture ways to reassemble and recombine the bits and pieces that were now ready for their next incarnation. A couple of days later, my friend Nancy came over to trade cast-offs. The placemat she wanted to shed appealed to me, and she was happy to take home some Asian papers that needed a new home. I cut my new mat into small pieces, some only about 3 by 3 inches, others longer and larger, for a total of about 15 rectangles. I added glue to the back so the threads wouldn't unravel. Next, I went shopping in my stash of papers and embellishments, choosing things that, to my eye, looked good with the flowers and pieces of mat that were ready and waiting. The 5 by 10 inch oversized card and the 6 by 12 inch calendar are 2 of the projects that began that day with the 90% off flowers and took shape when the placemat arrived. Needless to say, I've got enough components for many more projects. So here's my challenge for you. Look around your house and see what you can take apart, and then rethink and reuse. When you shop, don't skip the aisles that aren't on your usual route. Pieces of screen or ball chain from a hardware store, textured shelf linings, and other such products can be cut up for cards, mixed media projects, and more. Organize a swap with some friends. One person's trash is sure to be another person's treasure. Instead of minor alterations, make major ones. Paint or dye the flowers. Further shred a placemat and reweave the pieces. Sew the pieces instead of using glue. Add beads or embroidery. To find the products featured in this article and shown in these projects, check with your local scrapbook retailer. Browse our premier retail stores for coupons to a store near you. We hope you enjoyed this article from Scrapbooking.com magazine. For more creative inspiration, be sure to check out all of the great articles and projects in this month's issue.